By the way, I know that AEW has their critics and tribalism is real, but I just want to put this in perspective. Jeff, they're going to have a $3 million gate at this show.
That's right.
Like I know that people are going to look at, oh, well, there's this or there's that, and all these other compensating factors, and haters are going to say whatever haters are going to say. But what outside of WWE, what wrestling promotion in the world is going to have a $3 million gate in 2025?
A couple of months ago, I did an interview with the Orlando, and the guy asked me, "What do you think about tribalism?" And he led me down the deal that I was going to hate it and talk bad about it. And I just said, I absolutely love it. You got to take the good with the bad, but at the end of the day, haters are going to hate, but it is the lightning rod that our industry has become. It's no different than anything else in the world. Everything's politicized. Everybody throws rock at everybody, good, bad, or indifferent. But you just said it. A $3 million gate, over 20,000 in a stadium. In July it is, I think, arguably. Man, as far as both companies, is there a bigger weekend this year? I'm not sure. It ranks right up there. Stack card. I think you are going to see
in Texas in the middle of the July on a matinee show.
Well, and look, if you're a wrestling fan at your very core, getting to witness the Omega Okada,
unbelievable.
It's I don't want to come across as hype, but arguably Okada is a top 5 in the history of Japan. You're going to see one for the ages. There's no doubt in my mind. I'll say this. I don't know I don't know the schedule, the layout of anything, but boy, oh boy, it's going to be real hard to follow Omega Okada.
Let me just say, StarCast, as we said, is going to start that morning. So the actual pre-show, I believe, is going to start at like noon. The pay-per-view starts at 2. These are local times. Those are central times. But I'm just saying all that to say, I don't know match formatting either, of course. But I'm going to find out because I want to be in the building, in the crowd for Omega Okada.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to abandon my own event if I need to in order to be in the crowd for Omega Okada because that's real wrestling history. And I think to myself, man, how cool would it have been to be on the floor or in the crowd, a lower riser, just watching Ric Flair and Ricky Steamboat in 1989. And now we're going to get to see the modern version of that here in 2025. And it happens just a few days from now. Tickets are on sale. I encourage you to go grab them right now at AEWTIX.com. You won't find a bad seat here. It is a beautiful venue. They've made it super convenient. They've got lots of really cool stuff right next door. It really is walkable. If you're going to be in town at StarCast, I want to encourage you. StarCast, you may not know this, the Sheraton in Arlington is in the same parking lot as the Esports Arena. So you'll be able to walk right from StarCast to the Ring of Honor pay-per-view, and then just literally a block or two away, you'll be inside Globe Life Field. So you're like 2 blocks. So if you've done any WrestleMania weekends in New Orleans where you can kind of navigate and walk around everywhere, you're going to be able to do a lot of that this weekend. Encourage you to check it out because unfortunately, Jeff, it's been revealed that next year, All In is going back to Wembley Stadium. So this is our chance, America. Let's show up and show out, and let's have one of the best wrestling weekends of the year. It's this weekend. Tickets on sale now at AEWTIX.com. Of course, that night, we've got Saturday night's main event. LA Knight and Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. But what everybody really wants to talk about, Gunther and Goldberg, and you're right, you gave a bit of a spoiler. They have not officially called this Goldberg's last match. Does make you believe, in theory, maybe he's going to work another show. Maybe it's a Saudi show. I don't know. But does that mean Goldberg's walking out with a big gold belt? What say you? I say Goldberg wins. What about you?
You can do that other ad read we did on MyBookie. Folks, that's the hot tip of the weekend.
There you go. No doubt. No doubt. I want to get your take on one more thing, and then we'll put a button on today's episode, Jeff. It's been a marathon, but it's been a great show. And there's some controversy surrounding this new Netflix project that's going to come out called WWE Unreal. And we've talked about this. This is where we're going to see behind the scenes of the creative process for WWE. And I think they're going to have some key moments, like as they book the Royal Rumble, or as they book someone's return, or as they book WrestleMania. So we're going to be in the room when some of those real conversations are happening. And you, when this was first announced, said, Connie, it all comes down to the edit. Well, Jake the Snake Roberts was recently on his podcast, and he categorized the Netflix series WWE Unreal as being foolish, saying that there is no amount of money that can be made from the show that will warrant the damage it will do. That's the old school mentality for sure. No arguing with a legend like Jake the Snake Roberts. He knows a thing or two about a thing or two. But Ryback, controversial legend in his own right, has a different viewpoint. And he says, I truly believe WWE Unreal is one of the best things for wrestling and wrestlers. This is physical acting, the hardest thing in the world. We play roles, and it takes all of us. No one really wins or loses. And it's time that fans and dirt sheets stop the hate and understand what this is. It's no different than movies. You're given a role, and depending on your contract, sometimes you know exactly what it is. Other times it's week to week. No one shames actors for playing a bad guy or a small part. It takes everyone. Wrestling is one giant production. What do you think of that, Jeff?
Of Ryback's comment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I mean, he's him and Jake both are giving their opinion, and I can see all sides of it. I'll go back to my comment. I think it's all in the edit. You know, the show Succession. What do you call those after? You know, the when the credits roll and they have little bits about, and the actors are not acting anymore. They're giving real comments about scenes or story, and then the writer and the director and the creator of the show. I think it's a version of all of this, and I think in a lot of ways, it is the Hollywood version of it. My gut tells me that Ari and team are getting paid a boatload of money for everything they deliver to Netflix. I think Jake's underlying comment when he says damage may be a little strong, but I'm going to go, what's the upside? What's truly the long-term upside? Because we don't do magic, but Conrad, there is a lot of, you know, I just saw, where was I think, yesterday, Conrad, I had a big burn pile out back yesterday. So I would mess with the fire and burn and then get the law. Anyway, scrolling, I saw the guy who played Kerry Von Erich in the movie, and he kind of went through the physicality of what we do. And he was like, holy shit, that you got to act as well as do physicality, as well as remember, you got to do this and that. I do think I think it's one of the reasons that our form of entertainment has lasted so long, because not everybody can do it, and damn sure not everybody can do it good. So it is the mindset of, does this ultimately grow the product? And, you know, the David Copperfield or any magician, you know, the exposés, or how do they do the magic trick, or whatever it may be. I think from a general point of view is, it's going to get ratings. How much? I don't think it's going to be gangbusters, but the ultimate upside, I'm not sure until I see an edit. I'm convinced. Without seeing the first edit, I'm going to say the long-term upside is not there. I don't see it, because people love to be entertained and kind of have that, wow, how did this all come off? And I'm into it. And, you know, I don't know, I could give a bunch of examples, but the spontaneous interaction that you have, I think this can do some damage to certain talent inadvertently. And I think that's going to be kind of a fallout, that when you hear certain, I just think there are some things hanging out there. And, you know, you go back to the generation of regional promoters. Announcers don't draw money, refs don't draw money, blah, 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 blah. Well, now in this day and age, writers don't draw money. You know, we can go the creative room doesn't draw money. We could say all that, but Ryback's point is, it all is one giant production. Folks, we know that, just like Hollywood blockbusters are, and just like Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, it's all giant productions. But at the end of the day, let's watch the finished project instead of how the cake is baked.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105. Or get yourself a quick quote, even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.